Hello, dear students. I, Mrs. Rajeshri Naik, welcomes you again in online lecture series arranged by Gokhale Education Society's BYK College of Commerce, Nasik. In the last online lecture, we have covered meaning of public debt, types of public debt, and fiscal policy. Today, in this lecture, we will study the next part of chapter number 8, Public Finance in India. So students, in this lecture, we are going to study about structure of public finance at a glance. In that, financial administration, government budget, revenue and capital budgets, types of budgets, and expected questions. Okay. Now, first, let us study about financial administration. What do you mean by financial administration? A smooth and efficient implementation of revenue, expenditure, and debt policy of the government is referred to as financial administration. This includes preparation and implementation of the government budgets along with overall growth of the country. In other words, we can say, broadly speaking, financial administration means the administration of the financial affairs of a body or organization. In the context of public finance, it means the effective and lawful management of finances of a public body or authority. A study of the methods and procedures of management of funds of a government is the subject matter of financial administration. Such a study is of utmost importance because it is on the efficiency of financial administration that efficiency of a government depends. According to Gaston Gills, financial administration is that part of government organization which deals with collection, preservation, and distribution public funds with the coordination of a public revenue and expenditure, with the management of credit operations on behalf of the state, and with the general control of financial affairs of the public household. In the words of Professor M.S. Kendrick, the financial administration refers to the financial management of the government, including the preparation of the budget, preparation of the budget methods of administrating the various revenue resources, the custody of public funds, procedures in spending money, keeping of financial records, and the like. These functions are important to the effective conduct of operations of public finance. Okay. Now, students, what are the methods of financial administrations? Now, see. Okay, let us study the methods. The process of financial administration involves the following 5 stages. So that 5 stages means the methods of financial administration. The first stage, preparation of the budget. Okay. Second stage, legislative approval. Third stage, execution of the budget. Fourth stage, legislative accountability. And fifth method, or we can say fifth stage, treasury management. Now, students, let us study about government budget. Budget is an important instrument of financial administration through which all the financial affairs of the state are regulated. Budget is a financial statement showing the expected receipts and proposed expenditures of the government in the coming financial year. In India, a financial year is from 1st April to 31st March. Article 112 of the Constitution of India has a provision for annual financial statement. In every budget, a set of 7 budget documents describe the details of government finance in India. Next one, we can say the word budget is derived from the French word budget, which means a bag or a wallet containing the financial proposals. These financial proposals are in the form of the government expenditure and revenue. Now, students, let us see the definitions of budget. Okay, according to Gaston Guess, what he said, the budget in a modern state is a forecasting of an estimate of all public receipts and expenses, and for certain expenses and receipts, and authorization to incur them and collect them. According to René Stone, budget is the document containing a preliminary approved plan of public revenue and expenditure. And according to our constitution, what do you mean by budget? Budget means the annual financial statement containing an estimate of all anticipated revenue and expenditure of the government for the coming financial year. But besides giving estimates of revenue and expenditure, the statement also contains the review of the financial position of the preceding year proposals for fresh taxation, if additional money is needed to cover a deficit, and proposals for financial capital expenditure. Now, students, what are the objectives of a budget? Or what is the aim of the budget? Okay, so budget is an important tool of financial administration and an effective means of enforcing state fiscal policies. Now, the main objectives of a budget are as follows. Okay, total 9 objectives are there. Total 9 aims are there, which are known as objectives of a budget. First objective, to ensure accountability. Second objective, to serve as a tool of management for controlling administrative efficiency. Third, to estimate the income and expenditure. Fourth objective, an instrument of fiscal policy. Fifth objective, to assist economic planning. Sixth objective, tool of control on public funds. Seventh objective, basis of public welfare. Eighth objective, source of information. And ninth objective, tool of government policy. So these 9 points shows you that these are the objectives of a budget. Now, students, let us see the next part. Budgetary procedure in India. The constitution of every country lays down a specific budget procedure, and thus the budget of every country is framed, passed, and executed in accordance with that specified procedure. The budget procedure of almost all democratic countries, including India, is as follows. Okay, the budget procedure of almost all democratic countries, including India, is as follows. Number 1, preparation of the budget. Number 2, presentation and enactment of the budget. Okay, in that again 5 aspects are there in presentation and enactment. Okay, first one, presentment of budget in parliament. Next, second one, general discussion. Third, voting. Fourth, passing of the appropriation bill. And fifth, passing of the finance bill. Now the third one, execution of the budget. The execution of the budget has again 3 aspects. Number 1, collection of revenue. Number 2, proper custody of collected funds. And the last, number 3, distribution of grants to different administrative ministers or departments, and each administrative ministry or department is required to submit periodical returns to the finance ministry so as to enable it to exercise full control over it throughout the whole financial year. Almost the same procedure is adopted in states also. So these last 5 lines are more important, that each administrative ministry or department is required to submit periodical returns to the finance ministry so as to enable it to exercise full control over it throughout the whole financial year. Almost the same procedure is adopted in states also. Now, the next part, revenue and capital budgets. Central budget provisions are divided into revenue budget and capital budget. So let us study about first revenue budget, meaning it consists of revenue receipts and revenue expenditure of the government. Revenue receipts are divided into tax and non-tax revenue. Revenue expenditure comprises of interest paid on government borrowings, subsidies, and grants given to the state governments. In other words, we can say revenue account covers those items which are of recurring nature, while capital account covers those items which are in the nature of the acquiring and devising of capital assets. It is maintained that every economic unit must distinguish between current expenses and those incurred for acquiring of capital assets. Current expenses are equivalent to consumption, and while acquiring of capital assets is not. It is only when with these capital assets depreciate that real expenditure takes place in the sense of consumption. Revenue budget consists of the revenue receipts, both tax revenue and non-tax revenue, and the expenditure made out of revenue receipts. The non-tax revenue receipts include revenue from currency, coinage and mint, interest receipts, dividends, profit revenue from general services such as police, jails, supplies and disposable, public works, etc. Revenue from social and community services such as education, health, housing, broadcasting, and so on. And revenue services from economic services such as agriculture and allied services, industry and mines, transport and communications, etc. Okay, students. Now, meanings of capital budget. The capital budget consists of capital receipts and capital payments. Capital receipts are government loans raised from the public and Reserve Bank of India. This investment of equity holding in the public sector enterprises, loans received from the foreign governments and other foreign bodies, state deposit funds, special deposits, etc. Capital account receipts, on the other hand, include market loans, borrowings from the Reserve Bank of India, etc., through the sale of treasury bills, loans from foreign governments and institutions, and repayment of loans by state governments and others to the central governments. So capital disbursement would include expenditure on acquisition of various physical assets such as land, buildings, machinery and equipment, investments in shares and debentures, and loans to state governments and other bodies. The capital budget also incorporates the transactions in the public account. In India, in addition to the division of the budget into revenue and capital accounts, the planned budget is also presented. Okay, in India, in addition to the division of the budget into revenue and capital accounts, the planned budget is also presented. Now, what is planned budget? The planned budget is a document which shows the budgetary provisions for important projects, programs, and schemes included in the central plan. And this document gives the details of budgetary support for the central plan by the sectors of development, including the central assistance for state and union territories plan. Okay, now the next part, types of budget. Okay, the budgetary provisions of public expenditure and revenue need to be at different levels as per the changing needs of the economy. Accordingly, government budget is of three types. Number one, balanced budget. Second type, surplus budget. And third type, deficit budget. Okay, now let us study the one by one. Number one, balanced budget, meaning government budget is said to be balanced when estimated revenue and expenditure of the government are equal. That is, government receipts are equal to government expenditure. The concept of a balanced budget was advocated by the classical economists like Adam Smith. It was considered as neutral in its effect on the working of the economy, hence they regarded as the best. Okay. In other words, we can say that a budget is said to be balanced when the proposed expenditure and anticipated revenue both are equal. According to Professor Dalton, a balanced budget is that when over a period of time, revenue does not fall short of expenditure. In a balanced budget, there is neither any deficit nor any surplus. However, the balanced budget is an accounting concept only. It is simply a balance sheet approach. At the initial stage, we may have a balanced budget, but later on, as per the prevailing circumstances and in course of time, it is bound to be either a deficit budget or a surplus budget. Thus, a balanced budget is a theoretical concept only, but however, it does not mean one should not try to have a balanced budget. While framing the budget, every possible effect should be made to have a balanced budget. So, however, modern economists believe that the policy of balanced budget may not always be suitable for the economy. The modern governments are welfare entities and hence they cannot keep their expenditure at the level of their receipts. Now, surplus budget. See the meaning. Government budget is said to be surplus when estimated government receipts are more than the estimated government expenditure. That is, anticipated government receipts are more than estimated government expenditure. In other words, we can say a surplus budget may prove useful during the period of inflation. In the period of inflation, there is a tendency for prices to rise rapidly, and this needs to be checked, particularly in the interest of those who have more or less a fixed income. Okay. The rise in prices can be checked by lowering the level of effective demand. Now, what do you mean by effective demand, students? Now, effective demand means in Keynesian macroeconomic theory, effective demand is the point of equilibrium where aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. And students, this can be done by increasing taxes, which would increase the revenue of the government and reduce the purchasing power of the people. As a result, the aggregate demand will fall, leading to downward movement in the price level, and thus inflationary pressures can be controlled. In olden days, surplus budget was a common feature of the country's economy. However, nowadays surplus budgets are hardly visible. However, a surplus budget should not be used in the situations other than inflation, as it may lead to unemployment and low levels of output in an economy. Okay. Now, next type, deficit budget. Government budget is said to be deficit when anticipated government receipts are less than estimated government expenditure. That is, anticipated government receipts are less than estimated government expenditure. Okay. In other words, we can say that when the proposed expenditure exceeds the anticipated income, it is called as deficit budget. Nowadays, deficit budget is most common in planned economy. The government usually prepares deficit budget so as to meet development expenditure. A deficit budget increases the liability of the government or decreases its reserves. A deficit budget may prove useful during the period of depression. In the period of depression, all economic activities are at low level, which results in unemployment. And this can be checked by increasing government expenditure by borrowing money through deficit financing. Okay. Now, students, what I said, this can be checked by increasing government expenditure by borrowing money through deficit financing. Now, what is the meaning of deficit financing? Deficit financing is a practice in which a government spends more money than it receives as revenue. The difference is made up by borrowing or minting new funds. This will increase employment and aggregate effective demand for goods and services, which would encourage further investment. In modern times, deficit budget is the most commonly implemented policy of any government. Developing countries like India have consistently resorted to deficit budget technique for economic development. So students, this is all about today's lecture. Now, let us see the expected questions. State the types of government budget. Okay, so in today's lecture, we have covered meaning of financial administration, government budget, revenue and capital budgets, and types of budgets. In the next online lecture video, we will go with the last part of chapter number 8. Till then, have a great time. Thank you.